So we started this year as a rookie VRC team with just wheels and these wing mechanism. It was actually a very small robot, and we got bullied a lot. So we took inspiration from other teams that we learned about at that competition and built our way up to become a lot bigger now. As you can see, we have a lot more mechanisms on our robot, and we've just learned from everything we've gone through the whole way through.
When you say bullied, you mean like just
We got pushed around a lot because we didn't really know what we were doing. We just had a small, tiny robot. So now we've learned, we've overcome, we've persevered, we've built a much better robot now, and now we're actually a formidable opponent.
My son has been doing robotics for almost 9 years at this point. He started when he was in first grade, and he is now going into high school. So almost 9 years at this point that he's been doing robotics. And it just means that I get to see his passion of what he likes from so early on. And it's just unbelievable to me how much he's grown, not only with the skill, but just as a person overall. You know, you see him having to speak publicly, having to present, having to come up with project ideas, strategy thinking, and analysis, like all these different skills that kids at this age are just now starting to develop. Him and his team have been able to practice all those skills for years at this point, and he's only in 8th grade.
One of the problems we had is one of our first robots had a similar mechanism to this, our catapult mechanism, where we just have this little split gear. As you can see here, you see how it's a gear that's missing teeth there. We had problems with it at the beginning of the year. We had to figure out how many teeth we had to remove. We had to figure out how many rubber bands we needed to add so it could have that perfect amount of strength to launch those tri-balls to the other side of the field. So what we've done is we've spent countless hours practicing different positions of the tri-balls, the different amounts of rubber bands, the amount of teeth we need to cut. It's basically a trial and error process. I'd say that is probably something we've learned a lot from. This competition is all about trial and error.
When we started, my husband and I, when my son was in first grade, we knew nothing. This is not my trade. I'm in technology, but not engineering. My husband is in arts. We knew nothing of this. So when we started getting involved with these robotics programs, there are just so many resources online, and depending on the robotics program, my son's been part of 2 different robotics programs besides VEX, and they all provide just tons of different resources. Depending on the level of your kids and the level that they're in and how they're mastering this, there's even more resources for you as a parent if you're starting your own team, or if you're in school and you're an educator. Depending on that, there's different packages that you can purchase or the school can go into, and it provides just all the resources. Some of them provide even materials and things like that. So it makes it a lot easier for you coming in not knowing anything.
Get to know your team, get to know their strengths and weaknesses. That's how we built off of our team. We learned about our strengths and weaknesses, distributed roles based on that, and then after that we just got to work. It all came together. For example, my friend Miriam is really good at journaling. She's good at keeping together a good organized journal, getting us on task. These two, Amir and Ayub, are very good. They've been doing IQ for many years, so they're on more of the IQ side, so they are good at building and driving. Castro's a good journalist, like Miriam. Tristan back there, and Morgan here. They're both very good programmers, and I'm a good builder and driver. So once you figure out those strengths and weaknesses, you just get together and get it done. Just get everything done.
I see a lot of kids that are very, very involved in sports and academia and clubs and things of that nature. And something like this is not only helping them with their skill sets, but from an early on, they're meeting peers that are on that same level that they are, right? They're thinking about the same thing. They're already thinking of like what schools they want to go to, what majors do they want to focus on, where they want to work in, And so to me, if I have to give up every single Saturday of my entire year to be able to support my son, it is 100% worth it.
It's awesome. You get to meet people from all around the world. You get to share similar experiences that you've gone through with them. You get to meet people you never think you'd meet before. There's so many people here. It's an awesome experience.